Hey guys, James here again, and today we're doing something a little bit different. It's a company that we visited before, and they very kindly sent us through this. Now this is the new Side-shot from EagleVision, UK based company, sort of a long-term support of the channel, and when we were up at the British Shooting Show back in February, they very kindly set us up with an entire kit. So what we're going to do today is obviously just go through the kit, show you what you get for your money, what you don't get, things that you might want to add to your kit as well, and then also show you a bit of it in action and just go into a little bit more detail about what it is, how it works, etc. So anyway guys, let's see the intro, let's get on to the fun bit. Okay, so as I said, the EagleVision unit is essentially a build your own kit. Now when you go onto the website, you'll be given a series of options, and these options all correlate to what part you then get. Now to understand how this unit works, and obviously to understand how the first option works, I'll just give you a quick rough explanation on how the Side-shot works. Now the image and the light comes through your scope tube, comes along, and there's a little refractor here that refracts light off to the camera and also back to your eye. Now you get two options for this first sort of drop down, and that's what distribution you want it to go. Now this here is a 75-25 split, which means 75% of the image coming through goes across to the camera and 25% back to yourself. Now that gives better filming quality, and it still gives you a good picture here. Now the second option is 50-50, and that's really simple. Half goes one way, half goes the other. Now the big one here is, you know, if somebody says to you, oh, but you're only getting 25% of the image and the quality coming through, it's not great. Now, if you've got a decent scope and you've got a decent setup and whatever, you won't notice any difference in the quality of the image to your eye as you're sighted in, watching what's going on whilst this is recording. If you've got a rubbish scope, then yeah, all right, you might notice a bit of a change. However, really, in the grand scheme of things, it's half of one, half of the other. It really doesn't make a difference. So that's your first drop down. Now your second drop down is a pretty kind of, this is where I think people might get a little bit confused, and that's essentially deciding which mounting system you want to use. Now certain scopes, there are already versions out there from EagleVision. We have a screw-in adapter, you screw that into the back where your scope cover would usually go, and then you directly screw this unit onto your scope. Now I use that for the Hawk Sidewinder and it works a treat. I used it for the original kit, I used it for this kit. It's just a really simple system and it works. However, if you're using something slightly different that isn't covered by one of the options per se, you can opt for what I actually have fitted right now. Now this is the universal adapter. Now I've run this on Hawk Sidewinders. We had a Nico Sterling Diamond, I think it was, on a gun that I was demoing not too long ago. I've got it here on my Vortex Diamondback, sorry. And I've also had it on my Vortex PST Viper, which you've not seen yet. That's on a different gun. But it fits everything that I have tested it on so far. So that's your option 2. Now option 3 is deciding what method of recording you want to use. Now again, it's all detailed. If you go on Masood's website onto eaglevisioncam.com, it gives you the options there. Now you can see here I'm running a Casio camera and I've got the correct rings to adjust from the unit to the camera. Now if you don't want to use this camera, or if you want to use a Sony camera, or you know, there's a DSLR adapter out there, or I think that's going to be the most popular, the universal phone adapter. You simply unscrew this, you put the adapter on the side, and you use whatever you want to use. Now the universal adapter we have tried with my iPhone, my friend's Galaxy not quite set itself on fire thing, my brother's Huawei Chinese phone. They all fit perfectly and they're all still in their cases, so we've not had to take them out of the case. There's no risk of dropping them and this and that the other. Now the phone adapter you have to set up yourself. There's pins and captives that you can set up, line it up, and then just tighten it in, and your phone just slips in, tighten it in place, and it's held fast. It's perfect. So anyway, I've explained the options, I've explained sort of how the system works, so I think now would be a really good time to get down. I've got a couple of targets next to me. We've got some Firebird reactive targets as well, and we'll show you exactly what this thing is capable of and the quality of the footage that can be attained from it. Okay, so that's me pretty much done. Now, apart from a couple of issues with focusing, which is to do with the camera, and me really not knowing how to change settings at the moment, it's really good. Now, the quality of the footage is spot on. It's really easy to use, and like I say, it just works. Now, EagleVision have been quite a long time supporter of the channel. You would have seen products of theirs featured before. So again, a huge thank you to Masood for supplying this kit for us to test and review today. Now, having the scope cam is going to allow us to do a lot more out in the field. I'm hoping this summer, especially with days like this, that we're going to be able to do a lot more range work, explaining different theories and different principles and bits and pieces. So being able to show it through the scope is going to be amazing. And having this quick attach kind of setup as well, that will allow us to mount it on a vortex, on a sidewinder, on a whatever, it just makes it so universal. Now, what for me sets this aside from maybe some of the other competitors really is the ease of which you can swap it between units. Now, there's no extra £60 adapters or, you know, having to have the same scope or anything like that. You literally just unclip it, put it back in its carry case, and job done. And that's something else that quite a few people that have seen this kit, the ones that have been out shooting with me, have mentioned. Nobody else seems to be doing this. If you're spending £200 on a setup that uses an ocular refractor inside, it's a glass piece of software, or hardware, shall I say. You don't really want that rattling around in a bag. So it's really nice and really decent that you get a proper case with your kit. Now, I say, check out EagleVision on the website, eaglevisioncam.com, where you can basically go through all of the specs and bits and pieces that you need to decide your own kit. As I say, it will feature a lot more. There's a lot more coming from me in the next couple of months as well. We've got another type of scope cam as well that I'm hoping to bring to you. And I'm also going to do a full review on the Vortex scope that you see here. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time in a minute just zeroing it, refining it, getting to know the scope a little bit better, because it's been swapped between guns left, right and centre. And then as soon as I've done that, I'll get the video up for you and have a review on the Diamond-backed. Now, there is plans for a bit of a facelift with the Impact. I am planning on doing more bits and pieces with it. Currently in debate, should we say, about doing some sort of shroud system on the front. I'm getting it tuned and a couple other bits and pieces. People have recommended the monopods on the back as well. So I'll look into that. So anyway, any questions, any comments, feel free to post them in the box below. If you want to see more from us, obviously feel free to subscribe. If you're watching this and you didn't get a notification, click the little bell icon, and then that will basically notify you when we upload new videos. I've been made aware that people just aren't getting told. So if that's the problem for you, if you're not being told, click that little bell icon and it will send you notifications. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.